Good evening. This is a structure of our presentation on multimodal instructional strategies. Our group members include Hanifa Sabri, Elise Griffin, Caitlin Salter, and Misty Dickerson. The reason we chose multimodal instructional strategies as our topic is because we know that every student learns differently. Some students may be kinesthetic learners, while others may be auditory or visual or even digital learners. And so multimodal instruction helps us tap into all the different ways that our students learned best, and it helps us make learning meaningful and engaging for all students, regardless of how they learn. In this session, we will talk to you about multimodal instructional strategies for students of all learning types, and we will also talk about how you can make multimodal learning work for in-person settings and also virtual settings. The purpose of our session is to equip educators with practical, evidence-based multimodal strategies that will increase student engagement and accessibility. And these strategies will also directly address a common area of instructional resistance. Our agenda for this professional learning is we will give you brief article reflections over the articles that were provided. We will present to you our design challenge, which is addressing resistance to instructional shifts. We will go over our proposed professional learning session, and then we will go over the key components involved, which are our objectives, activities, and evaluation.
This is our article reflection on the professional learning plans article. The key components that we noticed in this article was needs assessment, clear goals and objective, active learning, timeline, and support and coaching. So what I mean by needs assessment, this is looking at student data. You're looking at student data such as test scores, attendance, behavior, etc., and you're trying to find patterns to see where those students' areas of improvements are, or like their students struggling, where they're struggling at. Clear goals is using the method of setting SMART goals, such as specific, measurable, attainable, results, focus, and time bound. Active learning looks like providing time for teachers to actually practice the new skills that they're learning in these professional learning during the professional learning process. Support and coaching is providing ongoing coaching and feedback throughout this process. How this aligns with student learning goals and educators' needs is by first setting SMART goals. Without that, this wouldn't be possible. Analyzing data to identify learning gaps, translating learning objectives using the CASAB framework, and on making sure that the educators are getting ongoing support and etc. So the role of evaluation is to evaluate both teachers' growth, so using, for example, classroom observations, and also evaluating the students' outcomes. So probably using, like, for example, their test scores, and using that data to kind of improve future plans to seeing how they can improve their future PLs. This is our article reflection on the turning towards learning reading. So, the three root causes of resistance and how to address them. So, the three root causes that I said was the wariness, willfulness, and weariness. So, what I mean by wariness, the first wariness is self doubt. So, this is the lack of confidence. So, people resist because they are afraid of the unknown or the possibility of failure, of learning a new skill. So they think I might fail, so it's safer to stick to what I already know. Willfulness is the willfulness is like that stubbornness. So people resist because they educators are used to their teaching methods and this always works. So they probably have that mindset: if it's broken, no need to fix it. Weariness is the lack of energy. That is that exhaustion. So educators may be feeling overwhelmed. They are taking, as educators, we take on so much responsibility and roles, and this would be something to add on to their workload. So they're probably just feeling like, okay, I can't add on anything else to my plate. I'm already struggling. So strategies on how to address this using the We, why, and wholeness strategies. So, for we, just offer support. Let educators know that they have someone to depend on when going through this process. Offer to model and guide educators as they learn new things. As teachers, we utilize the I do, we do, you do method with our students. So educators should receive the same support. The why. So try to relate to the educators. To them, they see you wanting to change everything. They work so hard for and add something new that they never tried. So just try to listen to understand, then try to compromise. Wholeness is letting educators know you see them as a human being. Try to support them by providing strategies on how to lessen their workload and not add on to their stress. And coaching and culture building is to help educators in helping them set goals they can attain, supporting and assessing them throughout the process so you know what is working and what is not. Also showing appreciation. Actually, make sure that you're taking the initiative to recognize educators for their wins, either that's being big or small, and let them know you notice their efforts.
This session is about building a multimodal toolbox. We want to equip you with practical strategies that help you engage every learner across subjects like English, math, science, and social studies. I know how much pressure there is to cover content quickly, and sometimes it feels overwhelming to add something new. My goal today is not to give you more work, but to share high impact tools that can make your teaching easier and more effective while reaching the diverse learners in your classrooms. Our learning objectives. For this session, teachers will recognize how visual, auditory, and kinesthetic strategies support engagement and recall across all subjects. We will learn ways to adjust our attitude by valuing the use of multiple modes so every child feels engaged. We will acquire the skills teachers need to practice designing lessons that intentionally use these elements. Our aspiration is that every teacher build a classroom where all students can access content in a way that matches their strength. Our behavior toward this goal is to put this into practice by integrating it as part of daily instruction.
In the professional development session that we designed, we would move through a mix of activities that really model what multimodal learning feels like. We'd kick things off with a quick poll to get everyone reflecting on their own personal learning style, and then share a short overview of the theory. Nothing really heavy, just enough to really get us a good foundation. Then the heart of our time together would be a carousel where they would actually rotate through stations and explore strategies in different modes. After that, we would slow things down and give everyone space to apply one of those strategies to a lesson that they actually teach. Then we could wrap things up by sharing a few of those ideas out loud and writing a personal commitment card so that everyone leaves with one clear action step. The goal is to balance collaboration with personal reflection so that you feel like both that you're leaving inspired and ready to go try something new. I want to pause here and be real about something. Professional development can sometimes feel really overwhelming and is often met with resistance. And that's okay. Instead of just ignoring this issue, we're going to name it and build support into the design of our professional development session. First, the we piece. We're all in this together. That's why the carousel and the group activities are built in, so that we can create a sense of community and show that you don't have to figure this out on your own. Next is the why. We'll ground everything in data about student engagement and performance. And importantly, we'll connect strategies back to what matters most for the teachers, saving time in the long run, reducing reteaching, and increasing student ownership. It's not about adding more to your plate, it's about making that plate easier for you to carry. And finally, the wholeness. We'll provide templates, a strategy menu handout, and even offer optional follow-up coaching that's supportive, not just evaluative. We want to normalize the feeling of this is a lot and show that there are simple, ready-to-use ways to try just one new thing at a time. So the message is simple. We anticipate resistance, we respect it, and we've designed this session to make moving past it realistic and supportive.
Our goal from this professional learning session is that educators would take the tools that they have learned, the multimodal instructional activity tools they've learned, and they will carry them over into their classroom, their school, or even their school district. And so some of the ways that we will sustain learning beyond the session is to offer plus visits through coaching. So when we think about ongoing growth, it's not enough to just have a one-time session, and that's where plus visits come in. So in plus, the P stands for plan with a coach. So you would start by discussing your goals and getting guidance to your approach. The L is learn together. It's about collaborating during the process. It's not just you in the classroom. The coach is there to work with you and help you. The U is unpack what happened. So after a lesson or activity, you debrief with that coach what went well, what could be improved. And then the S is sustain the practice. So this is where we build long-term change. It's about revisiting the strategies and keeping the momentum going. This moves us from a one-off sit and get session to an ongoing culture of shared growth and support. The idea is that coaching isn't just a one-time event, it's an ongoing partnership. We want to keep the conversation and development continuous. And then for our culture building component, building a collaboration of culture is a key to sustained growth. So this is where we need a space where teachers can continually connect and learn from one another. And so we would help with culture building by creating a shared online space like a Padlet or a Microsoft Teams channel. And everyone would have a place to post wins, which is they would post a little tidbit about something that went really well, a success, whether it's big or small, in their classroom so that everybody can celebrate with them. Teachers would be able to share student work to showcase their students' progress and spark new ideas, learning from one another. Teachers would be able to ask questions and really get some problem solving help from other educators who have been in their spot before or might have experience with it. And this isn't just a space for showing off, it's a space for real conversation. Teachers can ask questions, get support, and share their experiences. And the goal is for teachers to feel like they have an ongoing network of support no matter what challenge it is that they are facing.
When we put this much time and effort into designing a professional development, it's important that we also check to make sure that's making a difference. We'll use multiple ways to get the picture. Right after the session, we'll collect quick feedback with a plus delta survey, what worked well, and what could we tweak. A few weeks later, coaches and admin will both be looking for evidence of strategies in action during walkthroughs, just using a simple checklist to keep it supportive and focused. We'll also track how many teachers choose to join coaching cycles or engage in the online shared space. That voluntary participation tells us a lot about the actual buy-in. And finally, about a month out, we'll send a short follow-up survey that asks, did you try a strategy? How did your students respond to this strategy? What support do you still need? And that gives us not only a measure of implementation, but also a roadmap for ongoing support. Thank you for taking the time to watch our presentation. These are the references that we used. And if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to add them below. Thanks.